Welcome back to PERK'S reCAP podcast. Once again, Al has joined me, and we're going to go over the NFL Week 6 of 2025 season. A little better than last week, Al, but still not great.
Yeah, definitely. After last week, we had to improve, and we did. But we really took a beating in prime time and didn't exactly have the ultimate comeback we wanted, but not horrible.
Yeah. Right before we press record, you mentioned that we're 0 for 4 in primetime games.
Yes, and like you said, that is Kirk Cousins-esque.
Yes. From back in the day.
No doubt.
Okay. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready to jump right in. And it's a game I'm sure you're not going to be too happy to discuss, but it was the Thursday night game. Giants 34, Eagles 17. We all got this one wrong. We all picked the Eagles. To be honest, is it too far of a stretch to say the Giants kind of dominated and they
Oh
physically
no,
dominated?
the Eagles were up. What was it? The Eagles went up 17-13 in the second quarter. And then the Giants just completely took over the game. The Eagles went dead, and the Giants dominated from that point forward.
And I mean, and they were physical too. I mean, Scatterbo ran over one of those guys on the sideline, like one of those truck hits, like you see in Madden. It was ridiculous.
Well, in one of the greatest new things in the league. I mean, Scatterbo is just a priceless personality and player, but now we have the thing called the Scataboom.
Well, it's your team, so I'll let you take over for a little bit. Then I have some numbers for you as well.
Sure. So yeah, this was just awful for Eagle fans. If you're a Giants fan, you gotta love this because you have two rookies just stepping up huge with Dart and Scatterbo. I'm still not sure how good the Giants are, but I know they're not horrible anymore. They're not one of the worst teams in the worst, like, four teams in the NFL, like I was convinced they were coming into the season.
Yep.
They are clearly not that. The Eagles are clearly not elite right now. The NFC East is becoming the NFC least, at least this weekend it was. So it's just a brutal game, man. I mean, you look at Hurts's numbers, they weren't bad. He threw the one pick, 24 for 33, 283 yards, touchdown and a pick. But, he missed a wide open Devontae Smith on a touchdown that would have been huge when the game still was in question. Barkley had good yards per carry, but they only gave him the ball 12 times. The only Eagle that had a really good game on offense was Dallas Goedert. Other than that, their defense, which had been pretty good, probably the strength of the team so far this season, gave up 34 points to the freaking Giants and a rookie quarterback. So I don't know what to say about the Eagles right now. They are in a world of hurt and they need to figure it out. Once again, I'm not learning the offensive coordinator's name, but he is not the only issue on this team. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about the Eagles. I say I'm very impressed with the Giants. Very impressed with the Giants.
Dart, it wasn't a world beater or anything in terms of yardage, 195 yards. But Scatterbo had 98 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Jackson Dart looks a lot like Jalen Hurts early in his career.
Yeah, and I'll tell you too about Dart is he's got to get down though because he's taking too many hits. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, no, he's got to learn that thing, and some people have that in them to learn it, and some people don't. And if he doesn't, he's going to spend a lot of time on the injured list.
Yeah. Okay, some things. Did you know that I'm just baffled by the Eagles offense.
Yeah.
They scored no points in the second half again.
Yeah. They're only capable of playing one half, Greg.
Yeah. They are 30th in offense overall and 31st in pass offense. 31st in passing
Yeah, it's
offense.
crazy. It doesn't surprise me. They played awful.
They're last in 3-and-outs in terms of how many times they go 3-and-out. They have a minus point differential on the season. They've been outgained in yardage in all 6 games. The other team is, even the games they won, they had less yardage than the team that they beat. I mean, the numbers just keep going on and on. Their third down conversions, they're 30th. Uh, they're 30th also in yards. Uh, yeah, I'm completely baffled. What do you think is going on here? What is the problem here?
Well, listen, there's a couple things. The only major difference this year, there's 2 differences, and one of them is major and one of them is minor to me. The minor one is they lost their guard, the guard that went to the Chargers, Mekhi Becton. That's not a major thing. They replaced him with a guy who's competent, in Tyler Steen. And Becton sucked before he played for the Eagles anyway, and he's not playing that well for the Chargers. So, that's not the answer. The major difference, and there's one other factor I'm going to bring up too, but let me talk about this one first. The major difference is the offensive coordinator. To me, that is the root of all the problems here. Jalen Hurts is still Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are who they are. They still have a line that should be one of the best in football, but isn't playing like it right now. Now, that leads me to the other factor. I didn't give this enough weight coming into the season, but I was reading an article about this, and I have to give it some weight now. 3/5 of this offensive line had off-season surgery. Their center, Cam Jurgens, had back surgery. Their left guard, Landon Dickerson, who's been just wrecked this whole season. Every time he comes in, he gets hurt and blah, blah, blah. He didn't play this week, had off-season surgery. And so did the former Australian rules football player, their left tackle, whose name I'm blanking on right now. But so that's a factor. They played as many games as anybody in the league, plus had off-season surgeries to deal with. So I guess maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they'll get better as the season goes on. But I don't know. It's the same damn team. The same team that was top 10 in offense last year. So the only thing that's really different is the offensive coordinator, Craig. So I'm laying most of it on that.
Yeah. I mean, even the D that you said was the strength of the team, they're only ranked 16. They're not top 10 or anything. They're 16.
Yeah, and that was, they obviously took a plummet after last week, giving up 34 points to the Giants.
Into the game. Yeah, that's true.
So, they're I don't know, man. It's tough to repeat, and it's tough when you're coming off that 18-game schedule. But I don't know. They are just not playing well. It's weird and disturbing. They were 4-0 against a murderer's row, minus the Cowboys, and then they've just gone in the tank against 2 teams that they could have beat. So I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what I just wanted to see what your take was on that, because it's really confusing for me. And like you said, though, we got to give credit to the Giants. They have improved. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Now you get a team that has some talent that always underachieved, and then you get them to start to believe, and all of a sudden that defense that we were thinking about was going to be pretty good and wasn't that great. Now all of a sudden it's playing a lot better. Banks was a monster on Thursday.
Sorry, Craig. I got a call and then I answered it by accident instead of hanging up on it. So I apologize. I think I disappeared for a minute there. So I was breaking down the why the Eagles stink to my mother. I didn't. I realized.
Yeah, I heard all that.
Oh, you did hear that? Okay. Cool.
I actually mentioned after that the Giants. We got to give all the credit to the Giants too. You can't take anything away from them. They're a lot better than we thought. That defense that we thought was actually going to be the strength of the team and be pretty good is actually starting to believe now. And you get some talent on a team of guys with some talent on a bad team all of a sudden start to believe, and they all start playing better. It's specifically Banks for the Giants. He was a monster.
Oh, no doubt.
He had at least 2 sacks. I know that for sure.
Wait, Banks? You flash back to the 80s, Craig. You're talking about Burns.
Burns, what? Look at Carl Banks.
I was picturing Randall Cunningham going down, and I was like, wait a second, this is the wrong era.
Wow. Burns, yes, for sure. But yes,
Yeah, no.
he was a monster.
Yeah, no, he looked great. And their their pass rush has not been what everybody said it was going to be this year. This is one of the first games that it looked like that. So, credit to them, and credit to the negative credit to the Eagles for allowing that when they hadn't been very good all season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And future Lawrence Taylor still hasn't done crap, by the way.
No, he hasn't. He has not. So it's a really good thing they didn't give him his number.
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. I forgot about that whole thing. That's right. Good call. Yeah, man. But all that being said, they whooped the Eagles' butt. So credit to them. They are at least a team you have to show up against now.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah. The Eagles are baffling. Let's move on though.
Right on, please.
Let's move on to the most pathetic 0-6 Jets team in the most pathetic game. 13-11, Denver wins an ugly one in front of the Jets, against the Jets, in front of a London crowd that had to be like, why do Americans like this? This is terrible.
Well, thank goodness they're used to soccer.
Well, yeah, but they think that's great.
Well, then they should appreciate a low-scoring game at least. Because no, this was American football at its worst, and Justin Fields, who I'm a Justin Fields guy, but this was an absolute. This is he had negative 10 total yards if you factor in sacks.
Yes, he did. Um, I got some stuff here for you too. But did you see? I don't know what's going on with Glenn. I don't know if he's ever gonna. He might not be the guy. He might be a one and done coach
Yeah,
because
he does not look like a head coach.
he's had some asinine decisions made here. Did you see the end of the first half? What they did?
I was going to bring it up if you didn't. It was incredibly so bad, and then he tried to justify it in the post game press conference, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, he's in trouble. You asked me, you brought this up a week or two ago, and I said, hey, it's a little too early, but it is now, especially when you do something that silly and then don't own up to it. The Aaron Glenn watch is now on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you call a timeout, you do a fake punt to get the first down, and then you just basically you don't kneel, but you just run it into the line 3 times to get to halftime. And he made the decision because he didn't want to give the ball back to Denver, so they couldn't score again. Not that he had any faith in his team that they could go down and score. They had 2 timeouts in 2 minutes to go, and did not try to go down the field.
And they were less than 20 yards from legitimate field goal position.
Yeah, and they just ran the ball in the line 3 straight times. They get anywhere. What are you doing?
It was bonkers. It was
And if
crazy.
you have that little faith in Justin Fields, then why is he in the game? Put Tyrod
Right.
Taylor in the game.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I don't understand it. It was nuts. It was that's a coach who doesn't think about scenarios.
And he doubled down on that too in the press conference. Someone asked him about bringing Tyrod Taylor in the game, and he was like, "Why would we do that? That's a ridiculous question." Like he totally threw it away as if it was like ridiculous to even ask. And it's not. They should be playing Tyrod Taylor. I think he gives them a better chance to play. If they put him in at halftime, I bet you they would have won that game.
Yeah, it's possible, but I will say, I mean, Tyrod played one game this week and threw a pick six that cost them the game. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, but we know who Tyrod Taylor is. He's probably the best backup in the league, and one of the he's led a team to the playoffs before. He's had good years. I think he's a better quarterback than Fields right now. I would definitely play him over Fields. Fields is a mess. Fields doesn't want to throw the ball. He looks like he's scared to throw the ball. They have
Fields
absolutely
just
no
came off of
faith in
three
him.
really good games in a row, Craig. I'm not sure where you're coming from, honestly.
Well, then why don't they let him throw the ball? They don't want him to throw the ball.
That's a coaching issue, not a, he had one really bad game against arguably the best defense in football. I understand. Maybe you talk about benching him that game, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely play Tyrod Taylor over him. I would
I
say,
know. Listen.
like, if that's what the coaches feel about him, maybe not on him specifically, but if the way the coaches are feeling, where they don't want him to throw the ball at the end of a half with 2 minutes to go, pretty close to field goal range in a close game, and they just want to get to halftime to the point where they'll even do a fake punt to get to halftime and then not throw the ball, that says I have no faith in my quarterback at all.
No, see, I think that's just bad coaching and bad clock management. I think that was silly. On Aaron Glenn's part. Justin Fields has had a quarterback rating of over 100 in 3 out of his last 4 games.
Well, then it's bad coaching, but I think it's bad coaching, bad decisions in terms of they don't believe in Fields. I honestly think they're done with Fields. I think they are not happy with what he's given them so far, and they have no faith in him whatsoever.
That doesn't make sense either, because then they would have brought in Tyrod Taylor.
Right, and that's true too. That's a good point. That's a good point because when they were asked about it, he was like, like I said, he was ridiculous. Acting like that was a ridiculous question to even ask.
Right. So
But
yeah,
then
I
again,
just think
but then
I
again,
think
he's not
Aaron
wrong.
Glenn is lost as far as how to manage a game. I don't think it has anything to do with Fields in this particular circumstance. Listen, he played a terrible game. You can't argue that. But I don't think what you're arguing has anything to do with Fields. I think it has to do with a new head coach who doesn't know how to manage a game, and he got lost in the moment, made a really, really bad decision on how to handle it.
Yeah, all the talking heads up here are talking about how they both need to go. Basically, they're done with Fields and they're done with Glenn. They want them both out.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
they're
And
all
listen,
clamoring for Tyrod Taylor. Everybody's
I
clamoring.
know Fields has his detractors, and he gives them space with games like this. But the dude has a quarterback rating of 94.2 on the season. His quarterback rating is higher than half the league.
Yeah, well then that means quarterback rating can't be used because he hasn't played well.
He
So
has in three of his last 4 games.
I disagree completely. I think he's one of the lowest in terms of like if I'm drafting all the quarterbacks in the league, he'd be like one of the last ones I think. Maybe the last.
Against the Cowboys, 69% completion percentage, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns. Against the Dolphins, 74% completion percentage, 226 yards, a touchdown. Against the Steelers, 73% completion percentage, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers.
Well, I mean these Jets fans watch the game just as much as more than we do, and all they want is Taylor. They're done with Field. They hate him.
Well, who's the most popular quarterback in every town? The backup.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, but the thing is, he's 0-6.
No, fair, but he's also on a team that's been coached by an incompetent. And
Totally agree.
who is talking on you? Listen, you and I have been listening to sports talk radio since its inception.
Yep.
Who calls into sports talk radio?
Well,
The
I'm not
most
even talking
combustible,
about the
hot-headed people in
right,
town.
but I'm talking about the hosts too.
Well, the hosts are what do they talk about sports all day long.
Yeah,
They're
I
going
mean, like
they talk about stuff.
Joe Bonanno is saying this is the worst coach he's ever seen, and he's seen every season the Jets have ever played. He's been there since literally the beginning, and since like their inception, and has seen every single Jets game, and he says Aaron Glenn's the worst coach they've ever had, and that includes Rich Kotite.
I was gonna say, man, did he fall asleep during Kotite era? Because it's a competition between those two. Listen, they've had some really bad coaches, and Aaron Glenn looks as bad as any of them, if not worse. So I'm not gonna argue that at all.
Right, right. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. That was a good debate. I like that.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. I love that we spent 10 minutes on the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, I mean, we didn't really touch too much on Denver. We probably should have. They had 9 sacks, by the way. That's that is on Fields because that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are done with him is because in their eyes 6 or 7 of those 9 sacks were on Fields not getting rid of the ball. He holds the ball way too long.
Yeah, we'd have to look at the game film and break down every one of those because he also
Right.
ran 7 times for 31 yards.
Right. I mean, we're not paying attention like they do, like I said though, but they watch every game, every play, and they break it all down. And in their eyes, he holds the ball way too long.
Yeah,
Right.
listen, there are a lot of Sports Talk radio hosts that don't ever watch any game film. They watch a game and they make their opinions, and some of them are worth a damn and some of them aren't.
Right. Well, I mean, these guys watch every game. They have one guy has a podcast as soon as the game is over, and he goes over like pretty much every single play. It's ridiculous.
Well,
And
good for him because a lot of
he's
people don't do that.
yeah, he's another one who is done with he wants Fields out. But whatever. I just wanted to mention some Denver stuff though before we got off the game.
Yeah, and listen, this was a pathetic effort by Denver too. This was not a good game by them at
Yeah,
all.
19 for 30 for Bo Nix. No turnover, no interception. That's okay. But they only ran for 78 yards. I mean, yeah, 13-11 is going to be pretty ugly, and that's an ugly game that we should probably move on from.
Yeah, I agree. This is the Denver would have lost to any other team in the NFL on this day.
I agree. Only eight penalties in that game, 10 penalties in the Giants Eagles game. Let's move on to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh takes care of business, 23-9. They were at home. Uh, kind of went the way you would think. We all picked Pittsburgh. Dylan Gabriel, young kid, with his first start, had no touchdowns, no interceptions, 221 yards, but he threw the ball 52 times.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like a yard of completion. I mean, that's just so inefficient. It's insane.
That's terrible. I mean, why are you having this kid throw 52 times in his first game?
Yeah, and it wasn't like this game was out of reach early. It
Yeah,
was. I
yeah.
mean, there's no reason to do that. It was crazy.
Judkins had a bad game. Harold Fannin, of all people, had led the team with 7 catches, 81 yards. All they had was field goals. On the Steelers side, Rodgers was, okay, 235, 2 touchdowns. They ran for an even 100, but nothing crazy by any one individual player, and nothing crazy in the receiving except for Metcalf, 95 yards and a touchdown. Um, this was just kind of like a ho hum, nice, tidy Steelers win. Move on to the next one. Just kind of take care of your business. Workman like, and just move on.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have a lot to add on this one. This was the Steelers did what they should have. It was, you know. By the way, Jalen Ramsey had 2 sacks.
Yes, he did. That's weird.
When was the last time you heard that? I mean, I love Jalen Ramsey, but he was never, cornerbacks are not known to be sack machines, and that's a pretty cool stat right there. But other than that, not a lot to say about this one. Solid effort by the Steelers, terrible effort by the Browns, but they're a terrible team.
And Pittsburgh's in first place now, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think pretty handily. Let me check the stats here or the standings.
They're
Oh
right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 4-1. The second place is the Bengals at 2-4.
Yeah, so they got a stranglehold.
Yeah. Yeah. They are Ted Nugenting that division.
All right. Chargers 29, Miami 27. I thought Miami was going to pull this one off. The Chargers, I mean, they scored 29 points, but coming off of 2 losses that are pretty embarrassing, or, 2 losses and one of them really embarrassing. I, I don't know what they're doing now. They're kind of scuffling a little bit because Miami's not good. I mean, I know they were at home and we talked about, the Chargers going across country, but we all picked the Chargers to win relatively close games, but this was really close. Like this could have went Miami's way. In a lot of ways, they probably should have won this game.
No doubt about it, man. Listen, Tua threw 3 picks and they still only lost by 2 points. That's how much they should have lost this game, the Chargers. Um, They're a completely different team since Joe Alt went out, and the offensive line woes are real. They scored 29 points here, so they were able to put up points, but then their defense failed. So I don't know. There have been some massive turnarounds by teams we thought were really good. The Eagles we talked about first. The Chargers are definitely one of them, and there's a few more we're going to talk about too as the pod goes on here. I mean, the big bright spot for the Chargers is after losing their rookie stud running back, Kamani Vidal, 18 carries for 124 yards.
Vidal Sassoon.
Sassoon. All right.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. He had 124 yards. That's so cool. And Lad McConkey actually started busting out and getting back to what he was last year because he was
Yeah,
up
and
and down
a
bad.
big part of that is Quentin Johnston was out.
Right. On Miami side, Waddle had 95 yards, but that was pretty much it. Darren Waller, another touchdown.
Yeah.
And Achan had 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was huge. That guy can play, man.
And Tua threw 3 interceptions.
3 freaking picks, man. And the fact they only lost by 2 points, given that, is astonishing.
Yep. That'll tell you exactly. That'll tell you all you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah, the Chargers are in trouble, man. I can't figure. I don't know if Joe Alt coming back is going to fix everything. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what to make of them because they looked like a real Super Bowl contender 3 weeks ago, and now they look like they're in as much trouble as the Eagles.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I have to agree, absolutely. Yeah, for Miami, yeah, we went over some of the stats there. Okay, there was 11 penalties. Let's just move on.
Right on.
Next one on the list, which is Patriots Saints. I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know if the somebody replied to our last week's geez, I don't know, why can't I think? Somebody commented on last week's pod.
Oh, they did? I missed it.
No, you replied, I think. I think you replied. They said something about their Patriots. They love the Patriots, and it was Bob. He was talking about the Patriots and how excited he was for them, and he said that he was thinking that they were going to win 10 games this year, and I said they were probably like a year away from that in my eyes, but they're definitely on the rise. But anyway, the reason why I say that is because they looked really, really good here. I know it's the Saints, but in my eyes, they looked pretty good. I really liked what I saw from them.
Listen, they are better than I thought they were going to be, no doubt. I mean, they have not played a murderer's row. They did have a great win against the Bills, so that's massive. And they are now tied with the damn Bills at the top of the AFC East, which I can't believe.
Yeah, and since they only played the Bills once, they have the tiebreaker right now. So technically, they are in first place.
Yeah. Plus, they have that last place schedule, and they're going to get. I mean, they lost to the Steelers. They lost to, what was their other loss? Oh, and they lost to the Raiders, which is, looks really bad right now, but that's a distant memory because that was week 1.
Yeah.
And then they've beaten the Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Saints, other than the Bills. So that's not a murderer's row, but it's who's on their schedule. And, they have that schedule moving. I'm looking at their schedule right now. I'm just going to call out the games I think are tough. Yeah, they have the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Bills again.
Is that it?
I mean, the Ravens should have been a tough game, but the Ravens are one of the worst teams in football.
Right.
Do you want to count the Giants at home as a tough game now? I don't know. There's only 2 teams on their schedule the rest of the season that are over 500 right now.
Yeah. So they could, just on schedule, they could possibly do some damage and make the playoffs.
They really could. I have to give them credit now, and they're playing fairly well. It's hard, listen. It's hard It's hard to say that they played awesome in a 6-point win over a really bad Saints team, but I know what you're saying. It looked better than the score to me too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. To be honest, I'm looking at some of these stats, and it's not what I was thinking. I was thinking it was a lot better of a performance. Uh, but yeah,
Drake May played awesome. That's the one thing we
yeah,
can say for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, 261, but 3 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, what else do you want?
Yep. No, Drake
Um,
May's an emerging superstar. I really believe that.
yep. And every week it's somebody different. It was Kayshawn. Who's that? Booty?
Boutte.
Boutte?
Yeah.
98 yards and
Shake
two
your,
touchdowns.
Kayshawn, shake your boutte. Look at Ramondre Stevenson's stats and tell me when they're going to take this job away from him. Now, I will say Travion Henderson hasn't exactly grabbed it. So I do, you have to pull back a little bit on the Travion Henderson hype. At least I do. But Ramondre Stevenson carried the ball 13 times for 18 yards, Craig.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's terrible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
this
that's
was
a,
like the Drake May show.
yeah, it really was because he got no support anywhere else. And he
He made
grabbed that
some,
game and took it.
yeah, he made some nice throws. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Just like the fact that the highlights I saw just were, just some really, really good throws.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there 100%. May was the star of this game easily and is really establishing himself this is only his second year, right?
Yeah,
Is this year 3?
no, year two.
Year 2. Unbelievable. Yeah, man. No, he's really kicking butt and taking names.
Yeah. On the other side, Rattler had no touchdowns but no picks, 227. They didn't have much of a running game to speak of. Olave is obviously their number one. He's been there, and he was had a really good game. But you know, this was all about the Pats and how well they played. This game had 19 penalties,
Mm,
which of course is my least favorite thing.
yes.
And that's about all I got to say on this one.
Yeah, right there with you on that, man. Yeah. Yeah, Drake May. He is
Yeah.
becoming a stud.
All right. If you want to talk about another ho hum workman like just take care of business and get out of there, Rams 17-3 over the hapless Ravens. They are completely lost. You already touched on it. I mean, it was 3-3 at halftime. So the Rams, I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
Just, dragging ass all the way till halftime. Then they score 14 in the third, and that's all they need because the Ravens can't do anything.
Yeah, this was, I mean, listen, the Rams, credit to them, they won the game. Not a super impressive effort on their part, but this is more about the Ravens to me. I mean, this Ravens team is an absolute disaster. This is one of the biggest surprises in the league. Ravens are 1-5. I would have bet my house they wouldn't have been 1-5, and I would be out in the street. I can't believe it. I'm stunned, shocked, dismayed. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, Derrick Henry ran for 122 yards and they scored 3 points. Cooper Rush got benched. I mean,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
are they going to go with Tyler Huntley over him?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, their problems aren't their core. They were terrible with Lamar Jackson. So Tyler Huntley isn't going to fix them.
No, I'm just saying in terms of Rush or Huntley, are they going to go with Huntley?
Yeah. I don't know, honestly, because, Rush has not played well. So it wouldn't surprise me, if they went with Huntley. But it doesn't matter. They stink, it's so weird. I can't figure. By the way, look at the total stats for this game between the two teams. Who does it look like should have won?
The Ravens, time of possession, 37 minutes they had, almost 38 minutes to 22 for the Rams.
Yeah, they outgained them by 50 yards, 296 to 241. They had 179 rushing yards, but so I will say this, their horrific defense played a lot better this week.
Yes, it did.
Maybe that gives them hope for when Lamar's back, but I don't know, man. This team is just broken.
Yeah, this is brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it other than what we did, but it is scary. Um, the Rams were not impressive, but they won and they moved to 4-2, and we know they're a good team, so and they'll have better weeks. But the Ravens are the story here to me.
I agree. I agree. The Ravens are the more important story for sure, but the Rams, it's something to keep an eye on now. We gotta keep track of just how good they really are because there's some question now.
I agree. Oh, and let me not forget here. They Puka went out of this game with an ankle sprain and is already looking like he's not going to play this coming week, which severely hampers that team. He's one of the best players in the league.
Totally agree. Yep, no doubt. All right, I'm ready to move on. If you are.
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, we all picked the Rams, so we got that right. We all picked New England, so we got that right. And we all picked the Chargers, and we got that right. And Pittsburgh, we got that right. On to
Well,
one we got wrong. The friggin' Cowboys lose to the Panthers 30-27. They had this game well in hand, I thought, and just let it slip away. They got outscored 10-3 in the fourth quarter, but you could kind of feel it coming on as the game was going on. Like they were not playing well. And Rico Dowdle, for the second week, is an absolute stud. 183 yards rushing and 56 yards receiving, over 200 again. He got into the end zone receiving one. Uh, Bryce Young only threw it 25 times, which for him I think is good. That's the way to go for him.
yeah,
199 yards. Ted McMillan, I mean, a couple other. Ted McMillan had 2 touchdowns, but only had 29 yards. Um, but I mean, I don't know. This is just on Dallas's defense, as it has been. Dallas needs to score 30 points a game, otherwise they lose. In all their games that they scored 30 or more, they've either won, and then the one time they didn't, they tied Green
the
Bay.
tie. Yeah,
Every other time that they scored under 30, they lost. All their losses, they scored under 30 points. And the reason why you have to score 30 is because that defense is going to give up 30 every time.
yeah.
That's
They
why you
need the
have,
ball.
yeah, they need,
They need the ball last, Craig.
yeah, it's so frustrating knowing that anything you do, it felt like anything Carolina did worked. Everything worked. And on every single time there was a pass, the guy was wide open, nobody out. Every time they ran the ball, the hole was huge. Like
Yeah,
every single play looked like it worked.
I can't imagine being a Cowboy fan right now and having to watch that D. It's got to be tough, man. I mean, I watched a lot of this game because thankfully the Eagles game was long over by by Sunday, so I was able to watch whatever I wanted, and it was just unbelievable. I was just like, okay, let's just decide what we want to do this time if we're the Panthers because it's gonna work.
Yeah, no matter what. And that's what a lot of teams do. Like I said, Carolina scored 30, Dallas didn't. They lose. You have to score 30 because that defense is going to give up 30 every time. No matter who it is, they're going to give up 30. I mean, Dallas's
Yeah.
offense a lot, can keep up. I mean, they only lost by 3. They were right there. They scored 27 points. I mean, Dak had 261 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks.
He played great.
Yep.
The
George
run game was off
Pickens,
this week, but Dak played awesome, and George Pickens,
yeah,
beast.
168 yards and a touchdown, 9 catches. Um, the offense could get even better when CD comes back, and there's rumors he's coming back, relatively soon. Um, but I don't know what's going to help the defense. Revel and Overshown, those are the only two that are missing that they've been counting on. But I don't think that's going to make that much of a difference when the defense is all of a sudden going to be, even if they're just middle of the pack at like number 20, just can't be number 32. I mean, they're just terrible on defense. It is the worst defense I've ever seen and I've been watching football for like 40 years now.
Yeah, it's I can't argue with that, man. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And this offense is outstanding. So if they could just like you said, just be a bad bottom third defense, just not the worst or the one of the couple worst in the league, they're going to win a few more games. So I don't know. That's just tough. But their offense is outstanding and their defense is putrid.
Yep, and that's why they're probably going to be right around 500.
And by the way, to pivot back to Carolina for a second, you brought up the question, and I poo-pooed it a little bit. The idea of Rico taking this job from Chuba.
Yeah.
That is a much more real question after going over 200 yards 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to see what
Now,
happens. I don't
it
know what
doesn't change the
Chuba's.
fact that Chuba was a Pro Bowler last year, so I still have a hard time believing he's just going to get the job outright. But it's going to be a lot close. I just can't wait to see how they handle it now because Rico has certainly earned a lot of touches every week.
I mean, yeah, I think it's going to have to be 50-50.
Minimum, yeah. I think 50-50 just out of deference to the season Chuba had last year. And the second Rico has a better game than Chuba, it starts getting bigger and bigger towards Rico.
Yeah, I don't know when Chuba's due back. Is there any word on that?
I'll find it while we're talking. Here we go. What do we got on Chuba? Oh, I'm gonna have to click a page here, but it looks like I have an update.
All right.
Here we go. Nothing concrete. Nothing concrete. It looks like he's still questionable this week, still very questionable, maybe even doubtful. So hard to say. This update is not much of an update.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on then.
Right on.
To the next game, which is Colts Cardinals 31-27. This was a fun one to keep track of. This was
Oh
going
yeah.
back and forth. This was great. The Cardinals start the second half with 14, and Colts only get 3 in the third quarter. But then they get 14 in the fourth quarter, and the Cardinals only get 3. Just back and forth, and the Colts basically just outlast them. Arizona put up more of a fight than I thought, but the legend of Danny Dimes continues. Indiana Jones. He only had 212 yards for 2 touchdowns. He did throw 1 pick. A couple touchdowns though, but he's got Jonathan Taylor. That's a big help to him. And he had 123 yards and a touch. So he was just great. Daniel Jones also ran one in. Tyler Warren, the rookie, coming on a little bit now, finally. Josh Downs. I like everything that's going on with the Colts. Cardinals played a good team, played them tough, so kudos to them. But plus they didn't have Kyler Murray. Jacoby Brissett came in. Was Murray? Is Murray hurt or was he benched?
He was hurt.
Okay.
It came out late in the week.
Yeah, Brissett threw for 320 yards.
Yeah, he outplayed Daniel Jones, and Jones played well.
Yeah. Anything to add for that? What do you have for this one?
This was just it was surprising to me that the Cardinals played them as well as they did. And Jacoby's another one of those guys that you can throw in as one of the best backups in football.
Yep.
And he showed it, man. The Colts though, man, the Colts are real. This is a real team. I mean, they faced adversity. Yeah, I can't believe it, man. I cannot believe it. Oh, and we have to talk about one of the craziest stories I heard this week off the field.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it comes out before the game that Anthony Richardson is out. And he got his face impaled by a steel beam from a machine that he was using in the locker room to warm up with elastic bands. I've had conversations with my physical therapist that I will not use elastic bands because I got snapped in the face a couple times. And this is why.
Well, I
I
heard
will.
it wasn't the steel beam. I heard it was the band.
No, it was
I
a
heard
piece. It was a piece of metal from the machine, and it impaled his face.
I know he had a fracture in his orbital bone, I think.
Yep.
But I heard it was from the actual band of the band snapped.
No, I read an article on it, and it
Oh,
was
okay.
yeah. The band was the machine broke the metal in the machine, and it literally went into his face.
That's terrible.
I mean, it's awful. And this poor guy has not been able to stay healthy his entire career, limited, small, early, young career so far, and to have something like that happen is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, that is terrible. That really is.
I feel terrible for the guy. I mean, just nuts, just nuts. By the way, did you know Anthony? It feels like he's been in the league for 3 weeks. Did you know that he's 28 years old?
Really, did he come in late?
He must have, because I'm reading. Unless this article is wrong, I'm gonna double check this.
This is his what, third year?
That's what I would have said. I think that's right. Oh no, that article's wrong. He's only 23 years old. I thought that was crazy. Nobody edits anymore, man. Nobody edits.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because I thought he was young when he came in, not old. So okay, yeah, we're okay. That's crazy. Well, now I'm gonna have to double check that thing about the steel beam going in his face, because maybe that was crap too. I'm gonna double check that too.
Okay.
But
We
but I
got
read an article that said that a chunk of metal came off with the band and shot into his face, which, I mean, it sounds like a horror movie.
yeah, really. Lucky it didn't hit him right directly in the eye and go through his eye. Can you imagine that?
For real, man. For real. Ah, craziness.
Yeah, we all got that one right. We all picked the Colts there. There was 12 penalties, so not too many. Time of possession was relatively close. And also, real quick, there was 12 penalties also in the Carolina Dallas game. I don't think I mentioned that. And that's pretty much all I have on that one. While you're looking up the the case of the band or the metal beam, I'm going to start setting up to get ready to go to Seattle and Jacksonville. And Seattle now is 4-2. They win 20-12. Jacksonville, even though they were at home and Seattle was coming across country, Jacksonville, they still, every time you think you could believe in them a little bit, they let you down. And that's pretty much their history. They're still 4-2 now, so they're still doing okay. But it just seems like whenever you really start to buy in with them, they let you down. Um, I mean, Sam Darnold had a good game. 295, 2 touchdowns, no picks. They can't get anything going on the ground. Kenneth Walker has not had a good year. I know I have him in fantasy. No
Yeah.
touchdowns on the ground, only 60 yards. 162 yards and a touchdown on 8 catches for JSN. That kid is one of the best receivers in the league. There's absolutely no doubt about it.
No, he's something else, man. He is something else. He justified the decision to trade DK 10 times over already.
Yeah, I mean, he is so good.
And I can't find anything verifying that there was metal involved in this, so I'm going with the band story.
Oh, is everything saying it was the band snapping?
I can't find anything else other than that one story that said it, and nobody else is saying the same thing. So I don't know where that guy got it, but nothing else is verifying. So if you only have one source, you got none.
Well, yeah, and either way, it doesn't. Either way, he's got a fractured face from
Yeah,
doing
man,
too
and he's
much
out
snapping.
4 weeks because he was just trying to loosen up.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, poor guy.
Yep.
Yeah, this game was this game was not as fun to watch as I was hoping it would be. Good big win for Seattle. Tough loss for the Jags. They gave this game away. They got stuffed on a 4th and goal. They missed 2 field goals that were within makeable range. It was they just handed it right to Seattle, and Seattle took it to their credit. Seattle's a very good team. I did not see this coming, but they are a very good team. Still not sure how good Jacksonville is. I think they're good, just not sure if they're very good. They should have won this game. So they take a hit for me for not being able to pull off a game that they could have had if they had just made a couple little. Their field goal kicker is having a rough year, and it cost them in this one. So I don't know. I still don't know what I think of Jacksonville, but I think Seattle is a very good team now.
Yeah, and it could be a case of the penalties. They had 10 penalties, Jacksonville.
Yeah, now that's a factor too, for sure. I mean, they won you look at this, they won the time of possession. They made some really stupid mistakes and had a field goal kicker with a bad day. So, and they just handed this one to Seattle, and maybe it would have been, I'm not saying they would have won, but it should have been a lot closer. If you just give them two field goals and the touchdown they missed on 4th and goal, they win this game pretty big. So not big, but handily. So I don't know. This was just a sloppy effort by Jacksonville.
Yep, I totally agree. Yep. All right. Let's move on to the Raiders 20, Tennessee 10. We all got this one right. Raiders just kind of take care of business against a bad team. They're not a very good team themselves, but they're not as bad as Tennessee. Tennessee was coming off of, their first win. Cam Ward played a little better. He threw the ball 38 times, 222 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Not the worst day, not a great day either. But when they don't get much of a running game, it's tough for them. And Tony Pollard had 3 yards of carry, 3.4 yards of carry on only 10 carries. Not much to talk about offensively for Tennessee. Cam Ward lost 2 fumbles. That's the big problem there. So
Yeah.
3 turnovers. So
Yeah.
not a great day.
Yeah, Cam's not been good. Listen, they are, it's early. I'm not going to bury the guy. We've seen comebacks by Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I mean, Geno Smith to a lesser extent a couple years back. We've seen comebacks by all kinds of people over the years. So this guy's 6 years into his career, or 6 games into his career. I mean, and I'm certainly not going to bury him, but there's been nothing to write home about so far from him. Ding, 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 though. I'm dinging the bell, Craig, because we have the first coaching casualty of the season.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, though, in terms of rookies, quarterbacks, it's Dart. Dart has outshined Cam by a mile.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Not even close.
But anyway, yes, the coaching casualty.
Yeah, Brian Callahan is out. And I don't blame them.
I don't either. If they had lost last week, it probably would have happened last week. I think he saved the job by 1 game by winning last week.
Yeah, no, it's he was the offensive coordinator for the Bengals, and boy, did they put up some numbers when he was their coordinator. But this is where it's hard to tell sometimes, because who do they have? Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
I mean, how much credit do you give a guy who's coaching one of the best quarterbacks in football? You could argue he's the best when healthy, but he's in the discussion for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know where they go from there, by the way. I mean, they 2 of the candidates I heard I couldn't believe, by the way. Well, I can believe one, because everybody loves who's the Commanders offensive coordinator that used to be the Cliff Kingsbury. I'm not a big Cliff guy, but a lot of people are, so I get it. But the other one I could absolutely not believe, and that is the former Bears coach, Kansas City's offensive coordinator.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Matt Nagy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I would not do that.
Apparently he's friends with the Titans GM. They go way back.
Yeah, but you got to make smarter decisions. You can't just put your friends there.
I agree. Listen, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. But the CBS Sports did a thing about the top 5 candidates, and he was in that top 5. And the fact that he's even in a top 5 coaching candidates blew my mind. So, although I will have to say, I kind of forgot that he went 12-4 his first season with the Bears and made the playoffs twice, because it ended so poorly the last couple of years that I forgot that he had any success there.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not making a case for him. He's one of the last people I'd hire in this league, but I forgot that.
All right. Nothing to write home about for Vegas. Geno Smith, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 174 yards. I mean, that's nothing. Genti, 23 rushes, 75 yards, and a touchdown. I like that, even though the yards per carry weren't great. I like that they gave him over 20 carries. I like that he got in the end zone. He's firmly entrenched now, for sure, and hopefully better days are ahead. Trey Tucker had 70 yards, and Michael Mayer had a touchdown. I don't know who that is.
That's their backup. That's that former second round tight end who, remember when they drafted Brock Bowers? Everybody was like, why do they need another tight end?
Oh, yes.
That's the reason. And Bowers was out with an injury, so we know. Listen, that guy's. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to pull up a season like Bowers put up last year. But the Raiders have a little trade chip there if they choose to use it.
Yep, and I like Trey Tucker too.
Me too. He's emerged this year. He really has.
I totally agree.
And Geno kept their backups on the bench another week. He didn't play great, but he didn't play bad enough to lose the job. If he wasn't going to lose it after throwing 3 picks 2 weeks in a row, he's not going to lose it after this effort.
After a win too.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, on to now everybody's favorite team and everybody's favorite to win the MVP. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks win 30-19 over San Francisco. Everybody loves Baker now. They're all about Baker.
And I get it. He's playing awesome, man. He's fun to watch. He's gritty gutty. He's everything you wanted when he came out of college, and then it looked like Bustville, and then he kept working and worked his way back into being an MVP candidate. I mean, no doubt about it. I'm going to look up the current MVP odds as we're talking too, because that's always a fun discussion.
Yeah. He threw for 256 in this one, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Let's see here. Rashad White had 65 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Johnson had a touchdown. I don't know who Tez Johnson is. He also had a touchdown. He had 1 catch, 45 yards. Oh, I remember that. Throw. Yeah, Baker played really, really well. And he has been all year. And I bet you when you find those odds for the MVP, he's probably going to be leading it now. This one had 14 penalties. And the time of possession favored San Francisco just by a little bit, not too much. But on the San Francisco side, Mac Jones, 347 yards. Are you kidding me? Threw the ball 39 times. That's too much for him, and that's evident by the 2 interceptions he threw as well, and no touchdowns.
But he played, yeah, he had those turnovers, but he has played incredibly well in the backup role here. Other than those 2 picks suck, and that's a big reason they lost the game. But his completion percentage, his yardage, until this game, the turnovers he's been wonderful. I mean, he's another guy that may have established himself this season as a potential former bust turned starter in this league, or at least given an opportunity.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a shot with somebody next year.
Yeah, he's played well enough that he's got everybody's attention. No doubt about it. And by the way, Craig, this is one of the funniest stories. You mentioned Tez Johnson and not knowing who he is. I didn't either until I saw this story. And there is video. So he made a hell of a catch on a 45-yard touchdown play with Baker threw a great pass. He made the catch, and then they've been doing this breakdown on ESPN all day of all these MVP chants went up in the stadium after that. Tez Johnson thought they were for him. Oh,
Whoa.
man. If anybody out there hasn't seen it yet, look it up. There's a hilarious breakdown of all the receivers on the sidelines talking to him and being like, dude, Baker threw you the ball. It was for him, not you. You know, like,
That's
oh,
great.
it's so funny, man.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. By the way, you want to take a guess? Baker is number 3 in the MVP odds right now. You want to take a guess who number 1 is?
Number 1 for MVP. Is it Daniel Jones?
No, great guess though. He should be in the top 6 or 7, I would imagine.
Jeez, I'm trying to think. Is it Mahomes?
Bam.
Yeah, I mean he's playing better this year.
He really is. And he's back in that I mean, listen, he's a darling of the world anyway, but he's now earned being back in the discussion. So yeah, and number 2 is still Josh Allen, although he is rapidly falling out of that discussion.
Yeah.
Not because he's not Josh Allen, just because of the way the team's been playing. But that's all. We'll get to that. Yeah, unbelievable. The Tampa Bay, it looks really good. And listen, you and I both poo-pooed them as a Super Bowl contender early on. I'm not doing that anymore.
No, you can't. You can't. On the San Francisco side too, Kendrick Bourne has really turned it on the last couple of weeks. 142 yards this week. Last week he had a good game too. So I don't know what's going on, where he's coming out of, and earning all this playing time and all these catches. But yeah, he's really coming on.
No doubt about it. And Tongues or Tongus backing up Kittle has been really solid too. So yeah, it's new guys are emerging. Matt Jones is possibly getting himself back into starting consideration in this league. And yeah, however, San Francisco,
Yep.
their hopes for this season took a massive hit in this game because Fred Warner is out for the year.
Yeah, I mean they already had Bosa go down too. I mean, what else can happen?
I don't know, man. Yeah, that is tough because he's arguably the best linebacker in football, certainly one of them. And you don't just overcome losing a Bosa and a Warner in the same, in the same season. So.
And they have Kittle out, Ayuk is out. I mean, geez.
Yeah, the fact that they're even 4-2 is super impressive. I mean, Purdy, even though Mac Jones plays great. Yeah. So, I mean, they have been, it's been a Herculean effort to get to 4-2 under those circumstances. And, it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on because they're going to get some of these guys back, but they're not going to get a couple of them back. So, yeah, that's a real dagger. And he's one of my favorite players to watch. He is fun to watch. So just too bad. It's a shame for him.
Okay. On to Green Bay 27, Cincinnati 18. We all got this one right. Cincinnati has become one of the worst teams in the league. Well, yeah. They're not very good. They're 2-4. But I mean, without Burrow, they can't really do much. And Green Bay, took advantage of that, took care of business. Jordan Love, 259, a touchdown to pick. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns and 93 yards. And Matthew Golden, good to see the Rook, 86 yards. This game only had 8 penalties, so nice clean game. Old school kind of a feel there with the penalties. And Joe Flacco comes back in his first game and throws 46 passes on a team he's been with for 6 days.
Oh, that's priceless, man. Absolutely priceless. Played all right. He played fairly well. I mean, the guy just, you throw him in and he can play. But, this team stinks, like you said. They are not one of the worst teams. They are not in the worst records in the league yet, but that's coming.
I think so. I mean, how many games in a row have they lost and look bad
That's 4.
Yeah. Chase did have 94 yards on 10 catches and a touchdown. So at least Flacco knows to go to him.
Yeah, Flacco's no dummy.
Yeah. Time of possession was close too. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add here. Green Bay, kind of like I said, took care of business. They are, where they should be, and get back onto, the winning track. They're 3-1-1. They had the bye week already, and the tie, of course, with Dallas is the and 1. And yeah, the Green Bay is going to be a contender all year. No reason to think otherwise.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add either. I mean, Green Bay did what they had to do, and Cincinnati is in trouble.
Yep. All right, let's move on now. Team we already referenced, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs, 30-17. They were at home, but we all picked Detroit, thinking that they were on that 4-game winning streak. Kansas City puts an end to that, played really, really well, and looks like they're pretty much back. Mahomes 3 touchdowns, and another one running, so 4 touchdowns. Kelsey led the team in receptions, not in yards. Hollywood Brown had a couple touchdowns, and let the conspiracies begin again. for the first
Ha!
for the first time, I don't know exactly. I saw the stat. I don't remember it. I didn't write it down. I should have. I think it's since like the 80s or something. A team went through the entire game and did not commit one penalty.
Yeah, how about that?
It was 4 penalties in the game total, and all 4 were on Detroit, and Kansas City had none.
Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, there's 4 games or 4 penalties total in this game.
Yeah,
That's got to be some kind of record.
yeah, it's got to be. It must be. But
This is about as clean a game as you're ever going to see. There were no turnovers,
nope.
4 penalties. The time of possession was within 37 seconds of being equal.
Yeah, Kansas City just played really well at home.
Yeah, they're back.
I was going to say, are they back?
They're back. It's official to me. Their defense is championship caliber for sure, and it looks like the offense is getting back to what it was, and they don't even have Rashee Rice back yet. He's coming back this week.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if I'll say they're fully back, but they're improving. They're on their way to that for me for sure.
Yeah, I listen, I picked them to win the division in the beginning of the season, and 4 weeks in, I was sweating that and hating that pick, and I would have changed it to the Chargers if I could. I'm glad I picked them now because that's who I would pick now, even though they're a game behind the Broncos and the Chargers. They look more impressive than either of those teams to me right now.
I think I would. Yeah, I think I'll go with you with that. Yeah. Goff had 2 touchdowns, no picks. Jahmyr Gibbs had a decent day, nothing crazy. Montgomery, same thing. Jameson Williams had a touchdown. Nothing crazy on Detroit side at all. They only scored 17 points. And like you said, the Chiefs look like they're back. Mahomes now is the favorite for the MVP. And all's right in the world for the Chiefs fans anyway.
Yeah, right. Man, yeah, I mean, it's wild how the things can change in the NFL over the course of a couple weeks or a month.
All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out did you see the Brian Branch thing with Juju Smith-Schuster after the game?
Was that them pushing and shoving afterwards?
Yeah, he punched him in the face.
Oh.
And he got suspended for a game. Now the helmet was on, but he clocked him. I mean, Juju went down, and then a big brawl ensued, and Branch got suspended for a game. So yeah, you don't see that very often.
Definitely not. No way. I was gonna say we got to get to this mess on Monday night. My
Oh
God.
yeah,
we lost both games. All three of us lost both games. We all picked Buffalo. We all picked Washington, and we were all wrong on both games. Atlanta takes down the Bills 24-14. They were at home, but still, we did not think Atlanta. I don't know what to think of Atlanta. I mean, they lose 38-0 to Carolina, and then they come and beat the Bills. What the hell kind of sense does that make?
Yeah, and I'm right there with you 100%. And also, what do we think of the Bills? I mentioned earlier, we talked about a couple teams that are now 4-2 that we thought were Super Bowl contenders, and now have faltered big time. My Eagles being one of them, and we have to throw the Bills in that category too. The Bills have now lost to the freaking Patriots and the Falcons 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, they were 4-0. Now they're 4-2.
Yeah.
Atlanta's 3-2. They won 24-14. I don't know if I said the score. Penalties 14, but nothing crazy. Time of possession, not bad for, pretty close. But Josh Allen, I mean, just 15 for 26, 157 yards or 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Cook had 87 yards, no touchdowns. Nobody really did anything receiving wise at all. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Dawson Knox caught a touchdown, and Ray Davis caught a touchdown. But I mean, Shakir did nothing. Palmer had 60 yards. But yeah, just I don't know. What do you think happened here with the Bills? They look off all night. Just watching the
Yeah,
game,
they
they looked off.
they were able to do nothing. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is another one of those teams like the Eagles that they look better than the Eagles through 4 weeks, honestly. I mean, they were at least playing semi-consistent football. And but now they've just gone in the tank here. And I mean, Josh Allen played worse than Jalen Hurts this week, which how often do you say that? You know? I mean, he is one of the best quarterbacks in football, and he played terrible. I've been tracking the Falcons pass rush all year, which has been up and down, but it was up this week. They had 4 sacks on Josh freaking Allen.
Yeah. I mean, the real problem, obviously, for the Bills was stopping Bijan. Bijan had 170 yards.
Yeah, we buried the lead there, man. I mean, he had 238 total yards with his 68 yards receiving factored in too.
Yeah, and Drake London, 158 yards on 10 catches. He had a
Yeah,
touchdown.
beast.
Penix was solid, 20 for 32, 250. But only 1 touchdown, no picks. That's big, of course, for him. Algier had a touchdown as well. Yeah, Atlanta was just hitting on all cylinders. Buffalo looked off, and then that's what happens, 24-14.
Yeah, man. Just the Falcons, man. That drubbing against the Panthers couldn't look further away right now. I mean, it's like it never happened because they do not resemble that team 3 or 4 weeks later.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. Week to week, they're a team I don't know what I'm going to get, and I don't know how to pick any of their games, and there's a few teams like that.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It really is. I mean, they lost. It was literally 3 games. They've won 2 games since losing to the Panthers, 30-0. They beat a decent Commanders team. I'm still not sure how good they are, and they beat a Bills team that everybody has in their playoffs and possible Super Bowl projections. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to figure, man. Hard to figure.
Yeah. So good on them though. It's a big
No
win.
doubt. No doubt. Huge win. And this, they're a young team. I mean, they have Michael Penix emerging as he played very solid, and he's been getting a little better and a little better. They have arguably I don't even think it's arguable this season. This season, they have the best running back in football. It's possible with this pass rush becoming at least decent, if not better than that this team is settling into becoming pretty good. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to say right now, but it looks like it's possible anyway.
Yep. And now to the other one, we got all wrong. The Bears 25-24 over Washington on a last second field goal as time was expiring and went through, and the Bears getting the job done. And these kind of things would be automatic at at a certain time in history, but not this year because of all the blocked field goals that have been happening, and they happen again this weekend. There was at least one more this weekend I saw.
Well, and Jake Moody, who was San Francisco's field goal kicker 4 weeks ago, got cut because he was doing so bad for them. Had his previous field goal attempt blocked in this game.
Right. Maybe that was there another one this week? Another game? Or maybe it was this game that I was thinking of.
I can't remember off the top of my head. You're probably right, but I just can't remember.
Either way, the field goal blocks have happened a lot this year. That's the point.
100%.
They're obviously not automatic, and then we got a kicker who lost the job because he was so bad earlier in the year. It definitely was not automatic, but they got through. They win the game. I was happy to see it because Washington, of course, is in our division.
Yep.
3-3. 25-24. Caleb Williams played pretty well.
Yeah, Caleb is getting better and better. He hasn't been awesome yet, but he's getting better and better.
Yep. 252 touchdown, no picks. You'd like to see that. DeAndre Swift had a real nice game, 108 yards on just 14 carries.
He was awesome, and he had a big touchdown catch, man. He had 2 catches for 67 yards and a touch, too.
Yeah, love to see that. Jaden Daniels, do you think he's fully back 100%, or is he just back good enough?
No, he's back. He had a couple runs last night he shaped. I forget who the defender was, but he faked him out of his jockstrap. And it was in the rain. So if he can do that in the rain, he's back. Now he also gave the game away between him and Krosky Merritt and that botched fumble exchange. They had I think it was a fourth. Oh, it was unbelievable, man. And all they had to do was get a yard, and that game's over. And they fumbled it, and the Bears drove down the field and got that field goal. And it's wild, man. This weekend was, other than the Giants, who, they're so far out, it's possible they could get back into contention. It's early in the season, but I'm not factoring them in yet. They have a lot more to prove. But this was a weekend in the NFC East of who wants it the least. Every single team gave away their games and or played like the Eagles couldn't give away the game because they weren't in it. And the Cowboys and the Commanders both gave away their games like they didn't want it.
Yep. Daniels had 3 touchdowns, and he did. He had 1 pick and that fumble that was obviously the game clincher, really. He ran for 52 yards, so yeah, he definitely got out there and was getting his run. Zach Ertz, the ghost of Zach Ertz just keeps coming up. He's ageless.
Yeah, the ageless wonder.
Yeah, 43 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey's brother, Luke McCaffrey, had a touchdown.
Yes.
But you gotta give credit to the Bears. Let's be honest, they got lucky. They didn't do anything that caused that fumble. That was all the Washington doing to themselves.
No doubt.
Nobody punched out or anything. It was just a bad exchange.
Yep.
And they got lucky to fall on it. But whatever. You don't apologize for wins, as I always
That's
say.
right. That is right. Yeah. And the Commanders had 3 total turnovers to the Bears none, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah. And we got this all wrong.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was just NFC East looked like the NFC least this week. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun moving forward. There's a lot of teams. Next week's games, there's a bunch of games that are tough to pick, and there's a lot of teams you don't know what you're getting week to week, including my Cowboys. I don't know what I'm getting week to week with them.
You could say that with every team in the NFC East right now. Every team.
I think you're right. So we'll see. We'll see as we go. Do you have anything else to add for this episode? We just completed all the games.
No, I think that does it, man. Another crazy week in the NFL. We went from just being straight up horrible last week in our picks to just prime time killing us. 0-4, every single one of us in prime time this week.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, the records. Me and Joe both went 10-5. I have you going 9-6.
Yep.
You picked Jacksonville. We all
Yeah,
picked
the only game that we picked different all week, and I got it wrong.
right. You picked Jacksonville, and me and Joe picked Seattle.
Yep.
And none of us had our upset pick right. All our upsets were wrong.
Right on. Right on.
All right then. Well, if you joined us for this, hopefully you guys will join us for the next one. We're going to preview week 7. The preview show is usually a lot shorter. We kind of just rip through that. But it's a lot of fun, just like this one was. Al, if there's nothing else, I will sign off and we'll get to the week 7 preview.
Sounds good, my man. Looking forward to the preview. I want to try and get somewhere approaching 11 right, at least, get double digits again sometime this year.
I totally agree. Hopefully we get a little bit of a, better understanding as we go. Our picks usually, can get a little better as we go, as we start to understand what's going on in the league.
Yeah, which is crazy because usually by this time of year we feel like we're getting a handle on it, and I don't have a good feeling this year. There's a couple teams I do, but less than usual at the 6-game mark of the season do I feel like I have a handle on what's going on. So it's fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. I'm wondering when that's gonna, when we're gonna get that feeling. Probably around like week 9 or 10 now.
Yeah, right there with you, my man.
Okay. All right, guys. Like I said, join us for the next one with the week 7.